So in this lesson, we are going to be working backwards now with all of our parts that we've been finding. We're now going to be given those and then find the function. So we're going to write the f of x, what it equals. So we're going to start with the wholes, and that number is going to go on the top and the bottom, and we're going to write those as factors. Then we're going to look next at the vertical asymptote and put that in the denominator, and we'll write that as a factor or factors. Then we'll finish with the horizontal asymptotes. We'll compare the x's, and those will be our degrees. So remember, y equals 0, then more goes on the, more x's go on the bottom. If it was none, then more x's go on the top. And then if they were equal, then those are our leading coefficients. So let's go ahead and start with our first one. So none means that goes in the numerator and denominator, which is nothing. But numerator and denominator, just for future. These go on the bottom, and we need to write those as factors. So those are going to be an x plus 3 and an x plus minus 1, excuse me. So minus 1. And then we have the horizontal asymptote being 2, which means the numerator is equal to the denominator. And so we're going to have a 2 over 1. So a 2 up here and a 1 kind of down here, which we don't have to write, but that means that we have an x squared down here. X times x is x squared, so we need to have an x squared up here for them to be the same. So we're going to add that x squared there, and we're done. All right, so let's take a look at the next one. Wholes again go in both spots. So in the numerator and denominator. So we're going to have an x plus 3 and an x plus 3. And then these go in the denominator. And we have our x minus 2. So how do we do the 1/2? So let's take a look at that. If x equals negative 1/2, then 2x is equal to negative 1 when we multiply both sides by 2 to undo the division of 2. And then we're going to add 1. So it's a 2x plus 1 that's equaling 0. So my 2x plus 1 is going to go down there in the denominator spot. Now I have none, which means my numerator is bigger. Numerator bigger, none. Numerator's bigger than the denominator. Well, I already have x to the third down here. X. That's x to the third. So I need more than that up here. So I already have 1, which means I need 3 more. So I'm going to put an x cubed there, and that will make it bigger on the top. So go ahead and try this next one on your own, or you can try number 4 and we can do this one together, but there are none, so this goes in the denominator, if I could spell, denominator, and then the numerator is bigger. Sorry, numerator is less than when it's 0. So this one would look like x minus 4 on the bottom, and then if the numerator is less, then, and this one's 1, then it has to be 0, which we know is just a number, and so we're going to just hold the place value there with a 1. So try number 4 on your own, push pause and try it, and then push play to check when you're ready. All right, so this x minus 2 for the wholes have to go on the top and the bottom. X minus 3, which would be x plus 3 in the denominator spot for the vertical asymptote. Horizontal asymptote is none, so numerator was bigger, which means if this has an x and an x on the bottom, being x squared, we need to have at least x cubed up here. So I added an x squared with my x to make it x cubed in the numerator. All right, let's take a look at number 5. So again, numerator and denominator. So we're going to put an x plus 3 on the top and the bottom. The 1/2 is going to go on the bottom in the denominator spot. And remember that when we do that 1/2, we're kind of working backwards. So it ends up being x equals 1/2. We multiply both sides by 2, and then we subtract our 1. So it's a 2x minus 1 that is going on the bottom. And then here, this means they were the same. So if this has a single x, we need another x. And then now they're both x squareds. There's 2 x's on the top and the bottom. And then we put these as our coefficients, 3 and 2. And then our f of x equals, there we go. All right, so if you want to try that last one on your own, go for it. If not, you can follow along if it will let me. There we go, we'll just make it smaller. So try it or follow along whole on the numerator and denominator spot, and we do the opposite. So x minus 2, and then another x minus 2. And then we have 2 of these, and so this is going to wind up being, again, if we kind of do our 1/3, we're going to multiply both sides by 3, and then we will subtract our 1. So we have a 3x minus 1, and then we also are going to have a 3x plus 1 when we do the negative. And then we have y is equal to 0, which means the numerator was less than the denominator, and the numerator is less than the denominator, and so we are done.